Sam Jordan for nominating me for this honor. Congratulations to the other inductees. The success that I've enjoyed in my life in athletics started at Laurel High School, where I was actually born and raised in Laurel. In the same time period that he's talking about, I graduated from high school in 1958. I learned a lot about we, not me, at Laurel High School. And we, of course, that was all white. But you still have to put a team together, and thinking teamwork and thinking about we, not me, did it. And I was a part of the undefeated team in 1957 in football, and those guys won because they cared for each other. I made lifelong friends. A couple of those friends are sitting back at table number 50. I've known them all my life, and it was give and take. We were together, and when one of us was a star, we were a team. It was a team. And then I had the opportunity to become a coach in 1962. I was 21 years old. I went to Bridgeville, and by 1962, I helped coach a football team. We were all white. A couple of years later, I coached championship teams in which we were, I don't know, but because we were a team. It was we, not me, but we were mixed. But we didn't think of it that way. It was athletics. It was the ball. It was the win. It was the competitiveness that made us not think about race, not think about economic status. What we thought about was a common goal that I really came into my own at Bridgeville as a coach. And I carried that with me when Bridgeville was closed as a high school due to consolidation, and I moved on to Seaford High School. At Bridgeville, the heroes were for a smooth and successful integration and for the success of a lot of the athletic teams were the young boys and girls of that era, black and white, but especially those young Afro-American student athletes who came to Bridgeville when they could have remained at Jason for 2 more years. Those kids made that decision that they were going to go to the school in their hometown because that was the right thing to do. And they were first welcome in our backyard basketball and on our football field, the field of play. That group has stayed together. We're very close. We do things together. Francis Johnson is here tonight. He was a part of that group. Gary Maddox is here tonight. He was a part of that group. And of course, a major factor in the coming together of the Bridgeville blacks, whites community, because it ended up in the support of the whole community, and that was Hollis Smack. Now, if you know Hollis, and you knew him back then, the guy was just full of energy and enthusiasm, and he led the way spiritually for us, you might say, as far as our leader. He led our cheers. He led us on the field. And then, of course, we did have a super talent who played like he was taught, we like me, and that was Albert Horn. He has recently got a lot of credit. He was inducted into this Hall of Fame last year. He will be inducted into the Delaware Sports Hall of Fame. But Albert only scored a lot of points in the games that were really tight in the fourth quarter. Otherwise, we were playing as a team. And then as that team says, baby, we got to win. Let's get the ball to Albert. But that's still a team, because the team is playing roles, doing your part at the time that you're needed, whether it might be on the bench, maybe whether it be only a backup. So I think really that paved the way when those young black students, boys and girls, came to Bridgeville and made such wonderful contributions that when everyone had to come, and Jason closed, the way was paved, it was smooth. And we did very well. I hate to see Bridgeville close. With the closing of Bridgeville, I moved on to Seaford, where we had great success with that same formula of we, not me. And with us tonight is a coach by the name of Ron Dickerson. He has won more football games as a high school football coach than any downstate coach in history, 192 games. He will tell you, as I tell you, he didn't do it alone. There were other coaches, there were other people behind him, and we had, again, a mixture of players, and we played we, not me. Also behind the scenes, because you know, you got to run those events. I became an athletic director. There was one man in Seaford. He happened to be an African American. But you know, he's Brother Poole to me. Brother Poole, I could call him Norman Poole. I could call Norman Poole at any time and say, Norman, I'd like you not to watch the game tonight, take tickets. He'd say, okay. If I said, Norman, we don't have a track coach this spring. Can you help out and take it over? Norman did it. He thought always about the team and we, not me. His wife Rose also has made major contributions to the community. And lastly, to me, the most important person in my success, which led to me thinking like team, not me, is my wife. And I'd like her to stand up. For 48 years, Miss Ellen Sirman, Mrs. Sirman. They all come in Bridgeville. Hollis would come by and say, Miss Sirman, what are we having for supper tonight? I think I'm coming for dinner. And this is in the 50s. And we had hamburgers. She was always called Mrs. Sirman. In Seaford, she was called Miss Ellen. But she, not me, was the backbone of the home life and the accomplishments. And now the greatest thrill of all is for me to have with us, my son, Trey Sirman, who we are so proud of. He's followed in my footsteps in the sense that he has become a coach, an athletic director, and he went beyond what I did. He's now a principal over to Calvert County, Maryland. My son, Trey Sirman. We only had the one son. We only had the one child. So he had the advantages. And he still, because he thought we, not me. And he didn't grow up spoiled. Now, he has, with his wife Sherry, who's with him tonight, and Sherry, you can stand up as I call my lovely granddaughters to stand. Mia, 12 years old, coming up. Eva, 11 years old, coming up. Nina and Taya, who are twins. And Sophia. Thank you. Lastly, I appreciate this honor, and I'll be forever proud to be an inductee of the Delaware African American Sports Hall of Fame. So thank God, my wife, for doing my